Okay, I'm going to give you the grand tour, folks. It's been a little over 5 years since we bought the cabin, and did a lot of progress, so I thought I'd give an update. Standing on the driveway and next to Big Ben, he is our one of the county champion trees, one of the biggest in the county. It's on the registry. It's probably, I don't know, a couple 100 years old. It's a poplar, and it's a big boy. It's not real healthy, but it's big. It's got two big wounds up there where the rain just kind of goes right in, funnels right in. It's probably rotting away from the inside, but other than that, and then the woodshed is one of the first things we put in, because when I was demolishing the back, I had to have someplace to keep the wood. There goes our mailman right on schedule. So yeah, I built this woodshed to keep all the materials from the demolition. And that's what blew out my back trying to build that thing. Because at the time I didn't have any electricity. I had a generator out of the truck and I was lifting it in and out. And so anyways, got a lot of good wood in there. Our fire pit. Take you a detour around, or a tour around it. It's pretty much what it looked like before, as far as the clapboard goes. There was an addition on the back that we tore completely off, and then we put in two windows because there wasn't any windows in the back. And we found these big stones buried in the front, so I hauled those in the back and created some steps. And then we put cedar clapboard on the back. You have to excuse the mess, it's a work in progress. Here's my water system, and I put in this spigot this year so I can pump water without coming outside. So it basically sucks water straight from these two rain barrels. I got one that I use all the time and a backup. And we put a bat box on that's been on for a while. We have a pretty good number of bats in there. And when we bought this cabin, there was no foundation on this side at all, or in the back. And this whole corner was missing, so we had to rebuild this whole corner. And then here is access to the composter and underneath the cabin. And the composter vents from this stack that goes all the way out. So, and this door was made from old flooring. And there's the compost box. Doesn't smell a bit. This is the porch that Dan and I put on about 3 years ago. Best money ever spent, boy, let me tell you. Spent hours and hours sitting out on that porch. Wipe my feet off. It's a hummingbird feeder. We get hummingbirds all the time. And we had a nest of Carolina wrens. They're here every year. And then this door, I took it off the back. It was the door in the back because the one in the front was tore up. And then, to make it look like a real cabin, I took that same door and I put on the back some wood that we used for the teardown. or from the demolition. And here's the bathroom. Got a hot water tank and composting toilet. Honest to God, you don't smell a thing. It's perfect. It's perfect. You have a little funnel you go in. Everything else goes down that pipe. And that pipe, it's kind of a funny story, but that corrugated pipe was sticking out of the creek down the road. I cut off about 8 feet of it because it was sticking way out. So I got a shower that works, functional shower. And found this for free along the side of the road in the neighborhood. Nice wood stove. It keeps it pretty warm in here. We got all that chinking done not too long ago. Obviously I'm still trying to chink, but I try to make it as period correct or close to it as possible. So I bought these old fashioned push button switches, which are pretty cool. Chinking is not a lot of fun, let me tell you. And then this stone up here is original to the cabin. I think the cabin was built in 1870 something, but moved here at around 1903. We found some newspaper behind it. It said 1903. And these beams are original. The floor is upstairs is the second floor, I think, to be in the cabin. We found some pieces that were painted white, and they had where the floor joists were bare, so we knew that those were the floorboards. When this cabin was built back in the day, before it was moved here, it was painted. Everything was painted white. The logs were painted white. The ceiling was painted white. Everything was painted white to make it brighter in here. But I had the logs sandblasted, and then Kim and I treated the logs, and I think they look pretty good. And it's funny, on these windows, there's a shim on each side, and the shims are actually the floorboards. So those are the shims right there. And it's funny, they only shimmed the left side. Every window has a left-handed shim on it for some reason. So we got electric in here. Dan did a hell of a job with this floor. This old reclaimed wood from a project. Somebody gave me that piece of wood, and I made a coat rack out of it. Found that skull out in the woods. And back door. Again, did the same thing to that door. And the kitchen, that sink was in that addition out back, so I reused that. And somebody gave me these cabinets, so I reused those. Bought a new stove and refrigerator. Someone gave me that piece, Heather Peebles. And I bought this table not too long ago off of Craigslist. I think it goes perfect here. So my water system, that's the pump that I pump from the rain barrel, and then it pumps into this cistern here, which holds like 30 gallons. And then from there, I got a pump that pumps it to the rest of the house. So yeah, it's a little loud, but I got water. Hot and cold. Can't drink it, so I have to bring in my own water to drink. Got a microwave. All these bottles I found on the property. Some are pretty old. I found this stone behind the wall of the cabin when we were demolishing it, and look, I think it's a sanding stone they used to sharpen knives with. I thought that was pretty cool. And let's see. Oh, so when they moved this cabin, they disassembled it, and to put it back together, they had to mark it to make sure that they assembled it right. So the X's they put in here, meant that they were on the like west side, I guess, and then these S's were meant for the south side, and then they marked them, so they put 3 notches there. That's the 3rd log from the bottom, 4th log, 5th log, 6th log, and so on and so forth. And then I'm in the process of painting these floor joists. And all this stuff is so raw. That I thought was rotted wood at first, but it turns out that's actual bark off the tree. So I thought that was kind of cool. Then we put some stairs in. So it's coming along. Again, sorry about the mess. I still got a lot of work to do. Today I'm going to put the window trim on there because I'm almost done with the chinking. Like that window has trim. And the upstairs is 99% finished. I got to finish this handrail. I got to sand it down and stain it. I got to finish out the trim along the sides of the windows. But I got all the trim on the windows. That's that stone I was talking about. I thought it was cement at first, but it's actually a hand-carved sandstone to insulate it from the floor so it doesn't catch fire. I guess a lot of these cabins had that in common. But got 2 beds up here. Originally, when we first bought this cabin, honest to God, it was so nasty up here. The first time we came up here, Steve and I, all the windows were boarded up. It was dark. It stunk. It was moldy. There was animals in here. I mean, it was nasty. And there were 2 rooms up here, and there was a doorway in the middle. And that's just the way it was. So again, we put those 2 windows in the back because there wasn't any windows in there. So yeah. Something cool here on the floor. They patched this floor with a Clabber Girl, some kind of baking powder lid, baking soda lid from a can. That's how they patched it. And then from up here, you can't see it in the summertime, but the waterfall's there. You can hear it. And then on this side, you can see all the cliffs and stuff. And zoom in, and it's kind of hard to see with all the leaves on the trees. There's our bat box. You can hear them at night flying in and out of there. But yeah, that's it. It's a work in progress. We'd love to have some company, so if you want to come out and sit on the porch, drink some beers with me, or cook some hot dogs, let me know. Talk to you later.